What am I talking about now? I'm talking about my new match of the year. Yes, I say that with confidence. I say that with a lot of confidence, and it's even more satisfying that I'm saying that with such confidence after all the hype this got, because hype will naturally increase your expectations little by little. I mean, back when the live report of the Dominion show first came out, it was said that Tanahashi and Goto tore the house down. I was pretty skeptical about that, you know, because it's just not my favourite combination in the world. I came down pretty hard on Tanahashi the last time I talked about New Japan, and Goto's not my favourite guy either for various reasons. You know, plus these guys had a match last December, I think, which was pretty mediocre, all things considered. I just didn't think it was very good. But so I was pretty skeptical about how this would turn out. Wow, did they ever deliver with this? I don't know what to say. Goto-san, you are spoiling my apathy towards you with matches like this. And make no mistake, this is Goto's match. He was the stronger performer here. He just steps it up so much with the aggressiveness, the elbow smashes, the kicks, the lariats, all coming at the right time, all allowing Goto's control. You know, basically what every time this match is in Goto's hands, it's entertaining. It's either good or it gets very, very good. You know, whenever Goto's in charge, it works. And I don't often say that about a Goto match, so this was just something special, I thought. He held nothing back. He knew that this was the IWGP heavyweight title was on the line. He held nothing back. This is his best performance in a while. I'm definitely going to say that. I was just very, very impressed by what I saw here. You know, Tanahashi delivered as well. Not as much as Goto, but he definitely succeeded with a lot of stuff. This match kind of reminded me why I used to really like Tanahashi, and why I still don't dislike him as much as many others do, because when the circumstances are right, and you know, when he's not trying to be a superhero for all those fans, he can be really competent in many aspects of his game. I mean, I could go through a lot of things that he succeeded on in this match. You know, the first thing, the leg work. It was perfect here. It was just enough so Tanahashi could return to the leg whenever he was in trouble, but not so much that Goto had to reduce himself in order to sell it a lot. I mean, he did sell it, but it was more of a progressive thing. It was more of he sold it in increasing bursts as Tanahashi kept going back at it whenever he was in trouble. It was consistent. It was just so cool to see happen right in front of you. It was just, I really loved the way they executed it. I really did. The second thing, the desperation. Goto gets in so far, and on those few times that Tanahashi does that dumb rapid recovery thing, he gets punished for it. And there's a point in the match where Goto nails the top rope neck breaker, goes to the top turnbuckle again, and here comes Tanahashi, far too quickly. But Goto isn't taking that crap, and he holds Tanahashi off before plowing him with a sunset flip powerbomb. That was probably my favorite near fall of the match. You know, that was just tremendous. You know, that's partly because Goto's new finisher is a bit ridiculous, but you know, there's just so much to like about that near fall. I just thought that was the highlight. Well, not the highlight of the match, but just one of my favorite parts of the whole match. You know, I said in the last New Japan video that Tanahashi was getting into the habit of running through frog splashes with no reason behind them. Well, here he had a reason, because Goto was not going to settle for anything less, and you know, you don't need anything else. You don't need to tell you anything else. I love this match. It's the match of the year for me so far. I'm putting it ahead of Suzuki Nakajima. I've went into even more detail on this one in a write-up on ProWrest.tv. You can look at it, you can read it, and in the description box on this video you can look at my ratings for the rest of the show. There's a lot of filler on that show, but one thing I'll say about it, it had a great crowd. I'm going to say that was probably the best crowd of the year so far, and I don't really know what... I didn't think it was really deserving of such a great crowd. I would have transferred that great crowd to other certain shows this year, but it was really hot. I mean, they were going nuts for Kojima in that tag match. I was thinking to myself, I'm not sure what Kojima did to get this much support, but it's definitely helping the match. I mean, that was one of the better matches on the show, and I don't know what it was about Kojima that drew them in, but they were going nuts for him. That was an Osaka crowd, the same Osaka crowd that are going to be witnessing the return of Kobashi. If they give this much support to Kojima, I think the Kobashi return match is going to be something special, because by rights they should be giving a lot more support to Kobashi. So that really made me hopeful for something really truly an epic atmosphere on that return match. The double tag title match on this show was also very good. I would actually point to this as a very good example of a match that gets to the point within 12 or 13 minutes. That's not to say that this is the best they could possibly do. I'm sure that, you know, with the performances they gave, though, there was no reason for them to go any longer. You know, with the effort they were going to show in this match, they definitely got in all that was going to be worthwhile to see. You know, I'm sincerely doubting that with these performances, the match would have been any better if it were 20 minutes long. I'll just point that out. Nice little follow up to the length video. So there was some good stuff on the show, but mostly it's all about the main event. The main event is something to be seen. You know, I think I'm becoming stricter with ratings and stuff since the more retro material I've seen, I'm kind of starting to compare it to. But you know, relative to the rest of the year, this match is amazing. I'm just going to say that. You know, again, if you're interested in reading more about this match, what I thought about the match, you don't need me to tell you what I thought. You can go and watch it and come to your own conclusions. But I did a detailed write-up on the message board. You can also see some of my thoughts on some of the best of the Super Juniors matches. Even though for me there was only really one match that stood out to the point of a match of the year candidate. That was Hayato versus Kanemoto on night one. That's a very good compliment to their memorable match in 2009 J-Cup. The final match is also, I can see some people loving it. I can see some people thinking it's just okay. I actually thought it was very good, but it's a bit of a hard one to figure. But the final is definitely, it's worth watching anyway. So Hayato versus Kanemoto, I would say the best match from the Super Juniors tournament. But I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about Tanahashi versus Goto. They brought it. They delivered what I think is the best match so far this year. And to both of them I say, omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations. And that's what I want to talk about. I'll talk to you guys later.